Welcome to another edition of Pittsburgh Sportsline at Village Tavern and Trattoria, 424 South Main Street. We're right in downtown West End. It's 5 minutes from downtown Pittsburgh. Thanks to everybody for coming out. Thanks to Bethel Park, BPTV, letting us come out to the West End. I got Smoking Jim Frazier. I'm Al Levine, the talking machine. We got Devin Shea on the camera. Just back from El Salvador. Thanks for your service for our country, Army man. We appreciate it. We're on Verizon 32 everywhere in the Pittsburgh area, from Nemacolin all the way up to Cranberry, Wexford, the city of Pittsburgh. Even in West End, you can watch us on TV. This will be rebroadcast as early as Wednesday. If you live in Bethel Park, you know you have Comcast 7. It's nowhere else but Comcast 7 in Bethel Park. And I want to thank everybody here and everybody out there watching our show. We had a brand new high on our Facebook likes. This is the largest number, Smoking Jim, that we've had. Jim Audet, this is out there for you since you keep track of this. 4,604 likes. We just hit that, so thank you. We appreciate it. Anybody that's here that has a smartphone who hasn't liked us, all you got to do is go to Pittsburgh Sportsline on Facebook. Even if you're listening out in the street, and we got new fans here. We got Al and Judy, all the way from Mount Washington. They come to watch our show. And we do a special segment of What's on Your Mind. And I want to tell you that we thank Skeet's Service Station. Our man Skeets Lewandowski, he sponsors our segment of What's on Your Mind. So this is for Skeet's Service Station. What's on your mind? Smoking Jim Frazier.
Thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine. And if you want the green,
there you go.
You got to see Levine.
Thank you.
Hey, I want to thank Ray, the owner Ray, for having us back here once again. Another big hand for Jessica Lee. She did an awesome job. Listen, the only sign of life in Cleveland is the sign that says Pittsburgh 120 miles. Cleveland ain't won a championship since 1964. Lyndon B. Johnson was president in 1964. It was a year after the famed I Got a Dream speech by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. The Rolling Stones couldn't even get no satisfaction in 1964. Listen, everybody calls LeBron James King James because he's bigger, faster, and stronger than anybody in the NBA. I call him Goliath. And Golden State has a little tiny guard by the name of Stephen Curry that played at a little small school called Davidson University. So it matches up a nice David versus Goliath. And listen, this is the year of the state. Ohio State in January won the National Football Championship. March Madness was won by Michigan State. And my stone cold lead pipe bet your house lock is on Stephen Curry and Golden State, because this time they'll beat Cleveland and Goliath by shooting a rock.
Smoking Jim, I got to do a disclaimer here. First of all, we do not promote betting unless it's friendly betting. And when he bets a house, folks, last year I lost 4 houses out of 7 bets. Luckily, the last 3 bets that he said were a lock, they won. So that's my disclaimer. Don't start betting because of Smoking Jim Frazier. He's very energetic and passionate about it. And how does a rock go in a hoop? I'm still confused on that. We'll talk about basketball later. I got a few promos that I got to do locally. We have a farmer's market Tuesday night, 3 o'clock to 7 p.m. at St. Thomas More, right across from South Hills Village. All the great vendors are back and even more. So just check that out when you can before you start watching our show on Tuesday Night Live, which is on Verizon 32 everywhere and Comcast 7 in Bethel Park. Shop at the farmer's market. Thank you. Now we have this last raffle. We got a $650 stainless steel grill from EV Hardware. So thanks, Andy, for that. He's Handy Andy on KDKA, so he's famous there. So check it out. He donated this, and we're raising funds for the scholarship fund in Bethel Park. to help our volunteers to further their education with videography here. So it's only $1 a ticket. We'll be back out for the last time on June 6th at South Park Shops from 10 o'clock till 2 p.m. So you may see the talking machine out there trying to hustle some tickets up for the guys in our community. Then we had a great night last night. Devin, I don't know if you can pull up on this one. That's the Pittsburgh Vintage Grand Prix. For 33 years they've been doing it. All the money is donated to their charitable foundation, Autism, and the school I forget right now, but check it out. July 10th through the 19th. They have their races on the final couple days, and we'll find out more about that later. We may even get Dan Del Bianco on our show later too. We did talk to him last night when we were at the Rivers Club with Jessica Lee, and you got to come up there sometime. Smoking Jim, their buffet is now half price. How can you miss a 5-star buffet like that? So all of you are invited on a Wednesday night. The second Wednesday of every month is Jessica Lee, and the last Wednesday night. So she'll be up there again, and she features a special guest there on June 10th. The next time she's there will be our man, Smoking Jim, Johnny Angel, and the Halos. Jack Hunt will be there, so you might want to come out to see an historic event with Jessica Lee and Johnny Angel singing. It's a rare performance when you hear them, and we'll get into that a little bit later with our first guest. But what's on my mind is what a beautiful day it is today in Pittsburgh. Now this is really baseball season. My other co-host who's not here, Zach Brenner, he's still working because as long as there's daylight, he's one of the best contractors out there. He's still working. So he didn't make it. But him and Smoking Jim are what I call haters of the Pirates. You see, McCutcheon got his hair cut. Look at the film that we've had and the shows we've had. Smoking Jim said, once you cut your hair, he's like, what's that guy in the Bible, Samson? McCutcheon's been hitting over 300 the whole month of May, and I think we still got a few days left. He only brought his average up about 80 points, even as Smoking Jim acknowledges he's at 259. When he was below the Mendoza line, for all of you non-baseball fans, we had a player, Mario Mendoza. He couldn't hit 200 in a whole year, and that's not good for you baseball fans that know that. And he also said they'll never get over 500 again. The season was over after they lost 1 in a row, let alone the first 3 in a row. Rarely do I pick on him, except every week, about stuff like this, because I always tell my guys on the show, and maybe you run across other people in Pittsburgh, never let the facts get in the way of your opinions. Let's go Bucks. That's what's on my mind. 6 in a row, 7's coming up. We're honored to have Jessica Lee here. Welcome to the show. She helped name this combination, Jazz and Sports. And you come up with that. You wanted to do shows with us. We were on certain ones with you with a little half-hour mini show. Now we do our 1-hour show at the Village Tavern and Trattoria. So welcome aboard.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad to be here. Yeah.
What's on your mind?
Well, what's on my mind is I want to say again a thank you to Ray Hannes, who owns the Village Tavern and Trattoria, because I've been eating their bow tie pasta with vodka sauce.
You know you
and
can't
it's
brought it up
wonderful.
here.
And so I want to tell everybody to come and check out his Italian food here. So that's on my mind. But but definitely Smoking Jim is on my mind with the NBA.
Yay!
So I used to be an old point guard, and so I'm an NBA fan and a college basketball fan, just a basketball fan.
We know that. We discuss that a lot
And
here.
I'm excited for these finals. I think it's going to be a great final. I really do.
Well,
and I love Stephen Curry, and I love LeBron. And
Well, I don't want to put you on the spot yet, but I'm with the Cleveland Cavaliers.
yeah,
I'm with LeBron. I
Well-
believe they're going to win. That's where I'm at, because I'll take Goliath until he gets David out there. Okay, I don't see David.
I have to tell you, they are both, in a sense, great point guards. In a sense, I mean, they both are great dribblers, the great ball handlers, great vision, and Stephen Curry's shot is one of the quickest I've ever seen. I mean, his release is unbelievable. So
My favorite player.
He's MVP.
my question is, how hurt is LeBron?
Right.
That's my question. He did so many great things in the last series, hurt, really badly hurt.
Well, he had to. Love was hurt.
And I respect the fact that, they're all banged up and doing really well. If he's well enough, I think it's going to be very hard to beat Cleveland. I do. I think it will be very hard. But I think it'll be a great, great series. And if LeBron's not well enough, they may go down.
You mean
So,
Smoking Jim might be right. Don't say that on air. That feeds his ego.
But
Look
I'm
at
saying
him.
it's not a slam dunk
I understand
for
that.
Cleveland. No.
What about a three? Is it a three? Like Curry throws all those threes out?
He's a great shooter. He's a great shooter. I mean, he's unbelievable. He's going to be one of the greats. And he's not a huge guy. You're right. I mean, he's just an artist. But so is LeBron. I have to say that. I mean, they're just both great, and one isn't necessarily better than the other. They're just so uniquely great. They're awesome. So I'm a fan, and I'm going to be watching.
Well, you've been putting us on the spot. You've been calling us out about, what about an NBA team in Pittsburgh? Now, I have a history.
What's the name going to be? I want to know, what's the name going to be?
Well, before we jump to that point.
Because we're getting one. Because Cleveland has one. And
well, my dad was a
Charlotte
referee in the area. And when the pro teams were here, the Condors and the Pipers, he got to referee scrimmage games.
Okay.
And I got to go to some of the games, and I looked around, and you could almost count the people there.
Yeah.
There weren't enough people.
Yeah, that
so they
doesn't-
didn't show the support, and they won championships.
No, Al.
Okay.
Unless you have the NBA.
Okay.
Don't talk to me because
This was
it's
ABA.
nothing, but it's not the NBA.
Wait a second.
You're not seeing Kobe. You're not seeing LeBron. You're not. You can't judge it by that. I think there's two types of basketball teams that have a following: college, because you have the school behind it.
Because Pitt sells out,
Pitt's
right?
doing great. College ball works, and the NBA works because you're seeing the best of the best. You don't have a natural audience for any other league.
So you think if you
can't
got the best league, the top league,
whether we would support an NBA team. Now, I would say we're doing great supporting Pitt. I think we're doing great supporting Pitt in Pittsburgh, and people love watching Pitt basketball. So I do think we could support one. Now, an NBA team, Cleveland has one. Charlotte, I spent 7 years in North Carolina. They have one. And, we're similar size. I think we have sports
All right,
fans
where's
who
these
do it.
investors? We're going to start it on Pittsburgh Sportsline. Grassroots investing, blue collar, and some billionaires. That's what we need. Smoking Jim's going to start after his mortal lock, stone cold, whatever lock it is, and he wins with Stephen Curry, right? No, I'm not hearing that. So anybody that has money, don't donate to Smoking Jim. We'll come up with a business plan. Jessica Lee has a law degree. She'll have to dust that off and bring it out.
Yeah. I just use that for
What's your
my
name
music
for a
contracts.
Okay, well, you take care of the music.
Now,
We're speculating on basketball.
I don't know yet.
What would you like in a name? Something with Steel City? Something?
I don't know. I have to really think about that because I think there's something in the rivers or the bridges or something, but it has to be kind of a cool name. So I'm not sure. We have to think about that one, Smoking Jim.
Wait, Smoking Jim.
Explosion.
Oh, the explosion.
They already have something like that. You
There's
can't
something
steal
like
them
that
off minor league
No.
teams.
No, it has to be
Oh
fresh.
man, get something original.
I don't know. Roy Brzezika, who's partners with me on the music, my operations right arm, he's pretty good with coming up with good ideas. So he might come up with a name and let you know on
And
another
you know
show.
what? I like rhyming names, so
Yeah.
I'm good at that. Al Levine, the talking machine.
Or-
I'll give some type of thing for that.
Another good guy who brands well is Johnny Angel from Johnny Angel and Halos. He has a store called Ginchy Stuff.
Right.
And it's brand new, and he's going to be on our June 10th show.
We do shameless promotions,
Ginchy
and I already
Stuff.
started
And-
that. So
And he made for me when the college, Duke won this year. I happened to go to Duke men's basketball.
he
won.
was betting against it.
He
just
made
so
a
you know.
shirt for me that has a blues devil on it because he's Johnny Angel, and he made me a blues devil because the Blue Devils are Duke. I would tell you a true story. I was singing at James Street in that shirt when Duke won one of the second to last game or something. They were behind in the very final game. Do you remember?
Yes.
They were behind. And I was all by myself watching that game. I didn't want any distractions. And we were behind, so I went and got that shirt and put it on.
And they won.
And we won.
There you go.
So he's good with branding things too. The Blues Devil shirt.
And that's
Lucky.
here's
Come up with the
another shameless promotion. You can go out to James Street Gastrub and Speakeasy,
Yeah.
and that's the first Saturday of each month. You'll see Jessica Lee.
Yeah.
and Johnny Angel.
band. He's playing
Eric
drums.
DeFade and
Yeah.
good guys, Mark Strickland. So there's a lot of things out there. We support live music. That's why we're doing this combination show. We're proud and honored to be a part of this with you. And Ray Hannes, we appreciate the hospitality. No doubt about it. It's a great historic venue. If you know where Temperanceville was, that's where this is, in the West End. So it's not hard to find. Do you have any closing words here?
No, just come on down and check out Village Tavern. I don't know if you can see, but the garage doors are rolled up, and it feels like California in here. It's
Devin
like room
can
temperature.
watch Devin on this.
Hot, but
You know, there's a little breeze here. Well, you're in the hot seat, just so
Hey,
you
Joe.
know. The interview seat's the hot seat.
yeah.
We put you in the hot seat. You did well.
I'm looking forward to the NBA Finals and to getting our team. So
Do you
look
stick
forward
with
to
me
getting our
on
team.
that LeBron and the Cavaliers?
I think it's just going to be so close. I'm not picking a winner. I think it's going to be so close, and I hope it is so close. I hope it's a great competitive
7
series.
games?
I hope it goes 7 games, and I hope the best team wins. I hope somebody doesn't make a mistake to lose, but the best team wins. You know.
There you
so
got it. Expert NBA analyst Jessica
I'm looking
Lee.
forward to it. All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me. So-
We are so blessed and honored to have this young lady come out. She's a national recording artist for gospel music. She's a minister. She has her own radio show. And I tell you what, she got the best looking daughter on the planet, Bella Lisa. Big hand for time.
Oh, Bella Lisa's mom. I never know what sweetie you bring on our show. I know Bella Lisa.
Yes, she's a wonderful young lady.
Well, she takes the best selfies with myself and Smoking Jim. She goes, here, I'll take a selfie. We're at Duke's Rib House and Grill, where that's where we'll be in 2 weeks on June 8th. You know,
Oh, okay.
shameless promotion. So you come out there and see us there.
I sure will.
Just visit with us.
Yeah.
Now, introduce yourself. Tell them your name, because Smoking Jim, he doesn't give me last names or anything. And then we're
Time.
friends. You just friended me on Facebook.
Yeah.
So now I know exactly who you are.
Now you know.
And thanks for coming
Yeah.
to our show. I appreciate you coming out tonight.
You're welcome. Well, my name is Time Smith, and I am a minister. I am, oh my gosh.
Just
You
give
know
us
what? This
three.
is so.
This is about
difficult.
you. And you don't
It's
like
hard
to
for me
talk
to do
about
that.
you.
No, I don't.
Well, here's what I'm doing. I'm trying to help people like you that don't want to talk about yourself. So who are you?
Well,
We need some help.
Okay, I'm WRCT. I'm
Explain
a radio
that.
DJ.
Okay, is that
on
local
campus
station?
Of, yes, Carnegie Mellon.
CMU.
University. Yeah, CMU.
See, we figured it
Uh-huh.
out. Just
About-
tell us something.
About 5 years, yeah.
Really? What got you started there?
Someone gave my name,
And that's all it took.
and I was with another station. I thought it was a joke, and someone called me and said, "Would you like to have a show on the radio?" I'm like, "Yeah, okay, somebody's playing a joke on me," but it was legit. I met the woman, and next thing you know, I'm signing papers to have a 15-minute show, and I had to pay for that slot.
Right.
But when I
That's why
got there
they
to
wanted
train, the one lady didn't want to do announcements, and she said, "Could you read this?" I read it, and the next time I came, she wanted me to read something else, and she's like, "You should be our DJ."
Wow,
We don't
a
have
star
one.
is born.
And I didn't have to
Pay.
pay anymore.
Wow.
And
I
yeah,
know,
the star is born.
I got
Like-
asked a couple times
Yeah.
to have a radio show. They go, you got a nice radio voice.
Right, you do.
And I said, well, how much does it cost? As soon as they
Exactly.
told me, I go, no. They go, you could get sponsors.
Right.
I go, well, if I could, why don't you?
But that was the same thing that happened. I'm like, okay, I have to pay. Part of my brain is like, where are you going to get the money? The other part is
Right.
sign. So, and I find myself, I say, okay, I'll take this slot, and I'm signing. And next thing you know,
You fell
good
right
thing I
in there.
listened to the other part, right? You know.
Sure.
But
Definitely. And that's how you got in radio.
the television, I have PCTV. I have 2 TV shows.
Tell us what
And
they are so we can tune in.
Fridays, 4 o'clock.
Is it a live show?
No.
You tape
it's
it?
taped.
Okay.
Friday at 4 is It's Time.
It's Time.
Tyyyme.
I know. That's why I got confused on how to
Yeah.
pronounce all that.
Yeah, but it's
That's cute.
It sounds like Time.
Right.
A lot of people want to call me Timey.
Yeah,
but no,
that's what I
it's not.
started. When you see the double
Sign me up. I don't know.
Yeah, whoa. It's a family-friendly show. That's how we are. And then what's your other show?
It's called The Lens. So I
How
have
did you
artists.
get The Lens?
That was God. He gave that to me.
Sure.
I invite Christian artists,
Okay.
and I interview them. They sing, do their thing, and he just gave me The Lens. And I said, well, what better name, because you're peering into who that person is.
You know what? I got to interrupt you, but I hope you can talk to Jessica Lee a little bit. She features people during musical breaks at that Rivers Club that I was telling you about. You might be one of those guests because she has visual
Jessica,
artists.
I sing.
We got that earlier.
Jessica, I write.
We got Pittsburgh Sportsline. We just like networking and connecting, as you see.
You said a sports song?
You could sing with Pittsburgh Sportsline with the Talking Machine and Smoking Jim. Can you do a song like that?
That's what I do.
Wow.
Yeah.
We already have. We have a guy, Sam Schmiegel.
And you know what?
He
Once your
actually
next guest comes, I'll probably have you one before you're done.
We already have a theme song that this musician created, this Sam.
Yeah.
He created like 40 seconds of music. If you listen at the beginning of our promo, when you finally watch our show, which we don't mind, because now you'll be a fan, you'll hear it. And it's his composition there. On the Line, it's called. So, and he donates the money when people buy the full version of it. It's only 99 cents. He donates half of that to veterans. Or I think maybe even all of it. I'm not sure now. So it's all good things. We're about connecting people and doing shameless promotion. So how do they get a hold of you? Do you have give me one place they can get a hold of you, because you got 18 different
I'm everywhere.
businesses. I know.
I am. I'm everywhere. I'm helping everybody
I'm glad I got
out.
to meet you.
The reason I got on TV, I was helping other people.
Wow.
And
That's what we
that's
do.
how we met.
Yeah.
We actually met right there at PCTV.
Well, he's a huge star on Steel City Sports World for a dozen years.
I know.
I'm surprised that he even comes on our show here. Most people think it's his show because he doesn't tell them it isn't. It's a funny thing that I've ran across the last 4 or 5 weeks. I've had these sweeties, I call it. It's Smoking Jim Sweeties. Because if you follow him on Facebook, no disrespect to any men, women that are involved in this, but Smoking Jim is helping Pittsburgh Sportsline out weekly. Now he learned how he can change his cover photo, and he has a different sweetie.
Right.
They're recycling the photos from Pittsburgh Sportsline last year, at Sips, at Duke's, PNC Park, Atria's, all over the world.
I have yet to be one. I know Bella Lisa has.
Well,
it's
Devin, if you could get a photo of us here, although I'll be in between here, and we have to get one with Jessica Lee too. I don't know if you got that. Did you get that? Devin Shea's one of our best cameramen too. Can we smile? You gonna take one? No? Did you get it? Today?
Yes. No. Yes. No.
Oh, good.
And you said that. She disappeared.
You get
Jessica.
to talk to her.
Well.
Yeah.
Jazz and sports. She
coined that with us.
You know what?
Because it's tied in together over the years.
Yeah.
Boxers used to come to the Crawford Grill way back in the day.
It's funny you would say that.
And I was actually born in the Hill District.
Get out!
105
I grew up on the Hill.
Street, only for a year of my life. And now, where the family's home is now underneath Mercy Hospital's emergency room, because Pride Street ends up at that end.
Right. My dad is worldwide famous musician, jazz.
Get on.
Dr. Lonnie Smith.
I know of him, definitely.
Yeah.
Jess probably knows for sure.
She does.
You definitely have to talk to her when she
Crawford
comes
Grill,
back.
every time he would come into town,
Guess who's trying to revive that? Franco Harris and some people that Jessica
I'm waiting
Lee
for
knows.
that. I'm like,
they're working on it now.
Okay.
They're trying to raise money, and they have a non-profit, a for-profit. See, that's why we're here.
Yeah.
We got all this jazz connection. You didn't even know it was jazz and sport. Smoking Jim,
no,
did you tell her?
Did he tell me no?
He's the best connector.
I love you too.
He's the best connector in the world, but we just can't find all the bottom line with the information. I mean, I'm still missing.
Now, besides all of that, because you're jazz and sports, and I grew up with jazz, and I love jazz. It's my first love.
Right.
I do love sports. Basketball and boxing, my top.
All right, who's your basketball pick?
Well,
give us your little analysis.
You know what? Right now, I don't have a favorite.
Okay.
I know. Go figure.
Let's go boxing then. We'll go next subject.
I don't have
You don't
a
watch
favorite for boxing right now.
You're a
I mean,
fan
I'm
of
not-
it, but you sort of
I
got
used to have-
disinterested
I used
with
to
all the
have-
things that happened.
Yes. I'm not so disinterested, but I just don't have that, you know, that favorite,
Yeah.
you know, where I can just like scream out like, yes, this is the
Right.
person that I'm rooting for and I'm with.
You know what you have to do? You have
What's
to come
that?
to some of the golden boxing that we announce. Because Smoking Jim gives some of the greatest calls in the world.
I know, I've heard.
Okay, well then you have to check that out. And then we're going to be at the Sokol Club June 13th.
Okay.
You know, in Southside. So there'll be some great boxing there. It's only
Okay.
$20 to get in if you want to see some nice young men fighting, and even young women now too. There's women boxers. So.
That's a whole nother
Now, how do they get a hold of you? We got interrupted and
Oh,
distracted there with all the jazz.
email.
You want to give that out?
Time 222
Okay.
at
Yeah,
Yahoo.
my favorite number.
Did you say 3 2s or 2 2s?
3 2s.
Okay, it's not his favorite number. 2 2. He thought you were just stuttering.
No.
2
no,
2's
he
his
has
number. 2 2's his number, not
Mine's
2
is
2
3.
2.
Yeah, mine's is
I caught it.
222.
Didn't I say it?
Yes.
222.
That's right. Time 222 at Yahoo.
Yahoo.com.
Yes.
Okay. Just checking. We want accuracy. And watch your show. Tell them your
Yeah.
shows again.
You can catch It's Time Fridays on
4
at
p.m.
4 p.m. on, if you have cable, it's channel 21. If you have Verizon, it's channel 47. And the lens, you would just have to check your guide. Just keep flipping
Scroll
through every
through.
now and then, and
that's-
you may see
well,
my face.
PCTV.
When you see these, you say, there she is.
It's time.
It's time.
And it's time for you to go. Thank you.
All right.
It was a pleasure.
Oh, it was a nice
job.
place. Thank you
take
for
care.
having me.
I tell you what, you seen him on HBO, Showtime Boxing, Showbox in HBO After Dark. One of the greatest referees on the planet. Big hand for Ernie Sharif.
Now, he's also a referee that you've seen wherever Smoking Jim says, but he's a practicing attorney. And he has a case, so he's going to have to leave in like 5 minutes. Oh, no, sorry about that. Let's get a photo here. Are you taking one? Thanks. That's Devin. He does it while we're on live TV.
Well, I'd like to thank you for that warm introduction there from you two fellas. Thank you very much.
Well, it's just an honor to have you on the show.
It's an honor to be here.
Well, you're one of the best referees with class, and you keep your composure at all times, even though sometimes it gets out of control in the ring.
I hear you.
You know, and you are a true disciplinarian. I look up to you, especially when I'm sitting down at ringside, because I have to. So I respect everything you do.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that, Brother Al.
Well, you know we like to have a little bit of humor, should I say.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Because people get too serious about it, and we deal with a lot of serious subjects. You much more than I do every day.
Yes.
So there's a lot of things I always say in the community, why can't we all get along?
There you go.
And that's one of the problems. We can't, because
Yes.
people stop others from doing that. It doesn't matter what color you are, who you are, where you come from. It's what you're doing right now.
I agree with that 100%.
And I didn't mean to go off on a tangent there, but it just struck a chord with me with the people that you do help and the other people that you do try to help, like you were saying. So,
Yes.
definitely.
I agree 100%, you know.
Well,
We all have lived on this planet. You know, it's a small planet, 7 billion people.
right.
And it's better to get along. If we all get along and act a certain way, we all have more fun, you know.
Yeah.
If we all at each other and hate each other and try to hurt each other, it's less fun, you know.
Sure. Well, that envy, jealousy, and hate,
That's
those
not
three
good.
kill you there.
Yeah, that's
so.
not good.
Definitely. Well, we're going to get beyond that. We got to talk some fights.
All right, what do you want to talk about?
Well, I'd love to go back in history about your career in boxing,
Okay.
because I know you weren't expecting that.
Well, I started in boxing in 1970. I was 13 years old, and I had my first fight on October 2nd, 1970. And I've been actively involved in the game since then, so this is my 45th year in boxing.
Congratulations. I didn't know it was that long.
Yeah, thank you very much. I was a boxer, and then in law school, I was a trainer at the K-Boys Club, and then I became an official.
Okay.
You know, so I've been involved in boxing in some type of capacity almost all of my life. You know.
Can I ask you, I got to ask this, what was your record? Because I heard you were a pretty good boxer.
As an amateur, I had over 100 bouts. I don't know how many, maybe 120.
Right.
I stopped counting, but I lost 8. I lost 8 bouts.
Wow.
You were like Sugar Ray Robinson.
Wow.
Yeah, but I wasn't that great. Sugar Ray Robinson was 89-0.
Because I just read a book about him recently, and he'd fight anybody, anywhere. And
Give me that book.
Sugar Ray Robinson.
I can't.
89-0. Sugar Ray Leonard was 150-5.
Okay.
Wow.
Muhammad Ali was 108-7.
Wow.
So
Here's our stat, man. Now, here's the facts. We're definitely not going to let facts get in the way of your opinions, but we're going to deal in facts on this side of the table. Because I enjoy that. I like to read. I gave him a book on the Negro Leagues.
Ran 17 pages.
Yeah, and it's like a 200-page book with pictures.
there you go.
And the only thing he pulled out of it was cool Papa Bell could go to bed at night, shut the switch off. He was so fast, he'd go in the bed before the light went out. That's what he pulled out of 17 pages. So don't give him books.
I hear you.
And just tell him about the books, because he'll change history.
Books with a lot of pictures. That's his.
Yeah, but even then, if there's not a lot of sweeties in those pictures, then he skips over them.
He likes sweeties.
We know that, but we'll talk about more. No, we're not talking less on that. Yeah, he does have a sweet tooth. So you fought all these fights, and then you turned pro.
What happened is, at 19, I stopped. I had a chance to go to law school.
Sure.
And my trainer, Charlie Daniels, said, listen, forget boxing. Because at that time, the little guys...
What did you weigh? You didn't tell me what you weighed.
I weighed 140 pounds
Right.
and 147. And at that time, that class didn't make a lot of money.
Okay.
Only Ali made the money, the heavyweight class.
Right.
And so the champion at that time was Jose Napoli from Mexico.
Oh, really? I don't
And his
remember.
top purse was like 100,000. And he fought like Carlos Monzon from Argentina. He got knocked out. So you didn't make a lot of money. And then what happened is Muhammad Ali retired.
Right.
And boxing needed a new sweetheart. And the next sweetheart was Sugar Ray Leonard. That's when the money really came down.
It trickled down to the lower weights.
Trickled down to lower weights. He was a great fighter. And that's when the smaller fighters started making big money.
So you went to school, got your law degree.
Yes.
And then you went to fight.
Went to school, got the law degree, became an assistant district attorney in Allegheny
Okay, I
County.
wanted to hear that missing piece.
And what happened is I was watching the fight, I think in December 1982, and a friend of mine, Michael Dokes, who I knew from the amateurs, knocked out a fella named Mike Weaver in the first round, and he made about $1 million.
Wow.
So things started happening in my head. I said, I like being an attorney, but to practice law the way I want to practice,
You need money.
I'm going to need some money to set aside. So I wanted to make a comeback.
Kid, at what age?
I was 26.
26.
I was 26, and my goal was, I said, Sugar Ray Leonard made $100 million. As an amateur, I was rated right behind him. He was #1 in the country. I was rated #2 in the country. We fought in the finals, in the Pan American finals, tryouts, and he beat me. And
Get out.
represented Mexico.
What a story.
I said, well, let me get $1 million. If he made $100 million, maybe I can get $1 million and stash it and then practice law with a little
Right,
ease.
because you're not going to abuse it. You're not going to have an entourage.
That's what happened.
And everything else.
But what happened is that the people in the boxing game itself, Bob Arum was my promoter.
Really?
Bob Arum, Top Rank, was my
You got
promoter. But they weren't behind me.
Okay.
And I lost my first fight coming out of the retirement,
Yeah.
or just coming back.
Right.
And Bob Arum and Teddy Brenner, who was the matchmaker,
They just gave
and
up
Charlie
on it.
Daniels said, listen, you're an attorney. The way that they saw it is that I made it out of the so-called ghetto or the hood or whatever as an attorney. Don't jeopardize it with boxing, because I may get my eye hurt.
Yeah.
I may get brain damage. Just forget about it and practice law.
Get out.
And that's what they told me. And
Now you had to be extremely upset.
well, as I get older, I appreciate that advice, because you do get hit in the head, and you know that generation of fighters are older now.
They're all affected by it.
And, well, not all of them, but a lot of them are. You know, and that would have been myself too. It depends on, you know, all heads aren't created equal. Some people can take more punishment than others,
Right.
but you don't know which
Which head's going to be able to do it? Okay. Since we're talking simplistic, attorney, I'll get down to your level, my lawyer friend.
So as I get older, I said, you know what, that was some good advice.
The best advice.
That was some great advice. Now, when they gave me the advice, they were my age as I am now. See, I'm 58 now.
Okay.
See, so I was 26 then. But as I get older, I said, yeah, that was some great advice.
That first fight took that edge off you. Did you see what happened?
You know, I didn't have the same reflexes.
I know. I just can't believe it happened live on Pittsburgh Sportsline.
You know, he dropped it, you know.
He fumbled it. You can pick it up if you want.
No, I'm not going to pick it up. No, I'm not.
Pick it up.
No, I'm not.
He's stubborn too.
I don't want to fumble it twice, you know.
You know what? You're too smart. We're going to have to cut this right now. No, but it's great to hear your history, because I just know you in the ring.
Right.
You know, as an official there.
Well, I've been practicing law 33 years, and I enjoy it.
Well, hold it. Let me do a shameless promotion. I normally wait till the end before we kick you off, but I'm not kicking you off yet. You still got a couple more stories to tell.
Okay.
We'll figure them out as we go. Now, what's the name of your law firm?
This law office is Ernie Sharif, a sole practitioner. I mostly deal with criminal defense work and personal injury cases.
Now, how do they get a hold of you? Do you have a phone number? Can you give it out?
412-939-1866.
And I'm hard of hearing because of my buddy Smoking Jim. Just repeat it one more time.
412-939-1866.
Thank you. And get a hold of him. He's a very good man.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Now, I need a couple more boxing stories.
Yes. What
would be one of your favorite ones, either pro, amateurs, or ones that you've done recently? Just give me one on that.
My favorite boxing story had an impact on my life. And when I was 14 years old, I had a chance to meet Joe Louis and Muhammad Ali.
Wow.
In the same day. Charlie Daniels was my trainer.
Right.
And he trained professionals along with the amateurs. And he had a middleweight fighter named Larry Tatum who had a fight in Dayton, Ohio.
Yeah.
And it was the summertime. It was June of 1971.
Okay.
And Charlie said, what do you want to do? You want to go to the school picnic, or do you want to go meet Joe Louis and Muhammad Ali? I said, I want to meet Joe Louis and Muhammad Ali. So I went there, and I met Joe Louis, and I spent some time with Joe Louis, talking
like we are.
Yeah, like this.
And
he was so great, but I was only a 14-year-old kid, and we were in a stadium in Dayton, Ohio. And I noticed he didn't get much attention. And Joe Louis was a great fighter.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Way up there.
Oh, sure.
And Ali was there, though. So Ali was today's fighter. And everybody rushed to Ali. Now, I got about 30 seconds with Ali, but I got minutes with Joe Louis.
What a story.
And
it's a life changer.
It kind of showed me that I cannot put everything I have in boxing, because I said I'm not going to be as great as Joe Louis. And if there's a heavily ever after, it's not in boxing.
Right.
Because Joe Louis didn't have it.
Right.
And so I said, I can't put everything in boxing. But I'm still involved in boxing. I still love boxing.
You still have the love of it and the passion.
Right, but my whole heart's not in it, you know.
Yeah.
So
thanks for sharing that.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
No problem.
You're welcome back again on our show.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you having me.
Well, I tell you what, this is a guy that I predicted a while back that would be a professional boxer, one of the hardest working guys. He got everything that you look for in a boxer. He's 6'8", got a long reach, got all the heart in the world. He's a personal trainer, always in top shape. And I tell you what, the biggest boxing match I ever went to was when he fought for the Golden Gloves Championship and lost a split decision. Please, a big hand for Mike Shook.
How much time, Devin? Hey, Mike Shook, you want to hold the mic because you're a tall guy. Let me see if I can get this out. You just hold on to the mic, buddy, and we'll get that nice quiet voice you have. And he only smiles once in a while when I'm talking to him because he has some pictures. He has a great smile. Get a photo. Look at Devin's going to take a photo right now. Look up, my man. Come on. Did you take it? Okay. I don't know why there's a delay. Doesn't he have a nice smile? I keep telling your girlfriend he got to smile more. She goes, you're the only one that gets him to smile except for me once in a while. So just that alone. Okay, that's it for the show.
Well, real quick, how am I supposed to follow that, man? Come on, man. What?
Yeah, that's right.
I know. I was setting it up to have you come on before because he said by 8:45. You broke the time limit with him. Well, you're here. I heard you're back in boxing. You're training to fight again?
Yeah, I'm gonna get ready for the Ohio State Fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when is that?
That's at the end of July.
Okay.
It's a big tournament, and
we're at Ohio.
Columbus.
Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah,
that's
right
not too far away.
Right in the middle of the Ohio State Fair. It's a huge fair, and they got this like big pavilion. They got.
Is that where you got your tattoo?
No.
No. Okay.
No. But they got 2 rings set up, and it's nice.
That sounds good. What got you inspired again to do it?
I mean,
you're working out all the time.
Well, I gained a lot of weight when my mom was in the hospital.
Right. Well, that's what I want to get to. You're trying to come back, get in shape.
Got in shape. I'm in shape. I lost 25
You look in shape.
pounds. Yeah, I'm doing good. Now it's just a matter of trying to get sharp again and
well, I see you with all this workout
go for it
gear.
one more time.
What's this thing you put over your face and everything?
I get one of them.
Because if you got one there, it'd be so quiet on the show. I was hoping you'd bring one and maybe let us sample that. Because look, Devin just blew his speakers. His headphones are blown out. That's what I was hoping you'd bring here. You know, we try to get the facts.
It's an elevation training mask, and mine right now is set to like 12,000 feet.
12,000 feet. That's like 2.5 miles.
What I'll do is I'll run with it. I'll run like 3 miles with it. And then I'll take it off and run like 3 more.
Right. That's like 2 mile-high stadiums out in Colorado.
Wow. Wow.
Just so
I always
you
thought
know.
it was an oxygen mask.
It's like it's a simulator. It's a simulator of like
It
Denver.
cuts, yeah.
Sammy Vasquez
Cuts your
uses it.
oxygen. Does he?
Yeah, when he's not in Denver, he uses it here in Pittsburgh.
Wow.
Because it's like, I mean, it's not exactly accurate, but like, I mean, put it this way, it restricts your breathing. So then when you take it off and your body's used to having that on you, and you take it off, all of a sudden, it's a lot easier to breathe.
Wow.
Like, I ran.
Can you get this for my friend? Get him one of these. Because I saw him walking from his car here. I said, come on, man, we got a show to do. He said he was going as fast as he could. We better get that mask.
Smoking Jim needs to stop eating all this food at these bars.
I know, you saw I gave my fries. I couldn't finish my fries. Hey, since we don't have a whole lot of time, but you always are in great shape. You're telling us this cutting edge technology. I heard you have a business now. You know me and my shameless promotion.
Yeah.
I want to shameless promote Big Mike.
Well, it's called Mike's In-Home Fitness and Boxing. And pretty much,
You'll come to the home.
I go to their house, I train them, especially like, I mean, not just women, but moms that
He might want to be your partner. You know.
moms that have kids that want to work out but don't have a lot of time.
Yeah.
You know, I come there and I make it a little easier for them.
Sure. So you make it convenient. They can't make an excuse. They don't have time. They don't want
That's
to go to
right.
the gym. They don't want to
That's
go
right.
somewhere else. You're right there in their own place.
Yes. And I mean, I can meet them other places. I've trained people at the track and stuff
Right.
like that, but usually it's at the house. I trained this 75-year-old man. I started with him a couple years ago. And 75-year-old man with Parkinson's disease. And when I first started with him, he couldn't do much at all.
Right.
Now I got him hitting mitts.
Really?
Got him lifting
Boxing?
weights. Yeah, got him doing all that, man.
That
I
is
turned him into a
fantastic.
beast. Yeah.
How do they get a hold of you then? We got to get something out.
You could either message me or contact me on Facebook,
Okay.
Michael Shook. You'll see a picture of me and Mike Tyson, so you can't miss it.
Right.
And then you can call me 412-609-5379.
And you know me because I'm hard of hearing. You got to say it again.
All right, 412-609-5379.
There you go. Get a hold of him. What are you, 6'7" or 6'8"?
It's one or the other. I don't know.
It doesn't matter, but this is one of the tallest.
We'll go with
Okay.
6'8". You know why? Because 6'8" is considered a legal giant.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow.
And just
Yeah.
because he's 6'8", don't hate. All right? Respect the man. He's getting the mask for you. I want that mask next time you're on the show.
You can get it at Dunham's. It's $80.
Yeah, he's not going for $80. He wants to borrow yours. He doesn't even care if you wash it out. I'm kidding. Now that you know and you told him that, we normally don't say prices there, but go to Dunham's. I don't know what he meant there. Yeah, we can't say it on TV on prices. But you didn't know that. That's all right.
I did not not know.
It may slip through the sensors. We'll see. It could. But hey, what else is going on then? Anything else happening?
Pretty much just working on trying to get this business successful. And
would you have people come to your house and train?
No, I don't have people come to my house.
Okay.
I go to their house.
Okay. No, I just wanted to know because if somebody's interested, he'll come to your house, train.
I'll come to their house,
easy
train
to do
them.
it.
I bring the equipment.
Right.
And we do that.
And you discuss with them what they may want to do,
what their goals are, all that stuff. Yeah.
You know what? I got the perfect candidate for you. All right. I didn't know you were into this so strong, But now that I know, I got his number too.
It's what I do. It's what I do.
No, that is great. Well, I appreciate you.
On top of that, I do all the boxing stuff, and I'm about done with that though. I'm gonna get one more shot at the Ohio State Fair.
That's what I wanted. That was one of my last questions. Is this going to be like your final hurrah?
And don't say that, because like Ernie Sharif said, every head is made different, and you got a rock head, brother. You got a lot more punches in there, man.
Well, we're not doctors here, so we don't know about your head. I don't even know what's in his head because of what he says. He's smoky to women.
This guy can box till he's 50. You
I don't know about all that, man.
Well, you got to want to.
You're a giant.
Introduce yourself, Nick.
All right, so my name is Nick Deutschev. I've been a Pittsburgher for 7 years, proud of it.
See that?
But I was born and raised in Bulgaria.
Oh man, that's great stuff.
And we met through Jessica Lee through her Entrepreneurial Thursday. So we do a lot of networking. You actually become friends, and we find out what kind of jobs people have. And he's an artist. And aren't you involved?
I'm an architect.
Yeah, I was going to go architect first, artist, or whatever order you want.
Yeah, I do some art on the side, but really I earn my living being an architect.
That's good.
Yeah.
And then we've talked about sports. Like you're a Penguin fan, right?
I'm a big Penguin fan.
I know.
I'm a sports fan.
That's it.
You're an international sports fan.
I'm an international sports fan, and it really, soccer was my passion, but
right. Did you play?
But I played a little bit. Not to any high level. Basically, school.
Right. In college at all, or
no?
Okay.
And so I come to the United States, and
right. What happened?
It's football. I'm like, I know football. I played it all my life. I know football, right? And
that's why I had to have him on, because we talked about that.
It's football the way they play it here in the United States.
Right.
And it was an interesting experience.
They pick it up and run with it.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to.
That was a strange concept.
And the ball's funny looking, right?
How is that football? How is that football? But it took a while. But I love this aspect of America. It's the living vicariously, like living with your team, and that's how I grew up. I like sports.
Right.
So football was fairly quickly. I caught up quickly, and it was interesting in the beginning. It's Sunday in my dorm, and people were like, "Well, let's watch some football." Yeah. And then there's these big guys. They're all specimen. They're like huge guys. They're like they're athletes, and they start something, and a couple of seconds later, everything stops. And they're the guys in the funny suits. They measure.
Since you come from,
they take these devices.
What were you thinking?
Where's the action? Where's the action?
And then you stuck with it. You stuck with it.
Well, I stuck with it because all my friends are watching. That's got to be. If my friends are watching, it's got to be good.
Right. Because they're smart like you.
Of course. And we got to
you learned the game.
Teaching me, they were teaching me the rules, and
so you learned about first downs.
To me, the big thing was that a lot of action happens in a very short time, and you got to look all over the field.
Right.
And I'm used to more. It's like hockey was real easy because it's
you follow the puck.
You follow the puck. You follow. It's like soccer. And football is just different. It's just a lot of things happen, so you have to. It's like snapshots of action. And I must admit, because I went to college in Northeast Ohio, I first started watching the Browns, and they were fairly good at the time. Mm-hmm. But then I met my ex-wife, who is a Pittsburgh gal, and the Steelers became my team.
Okay.
Did you move here then, or?
No, no. We lived in Philadelphia for a while, then in Cleveland for a while, then we went to Phoenix, Arizona, and I've lived all over this country.
Because you're still wearing the brown colors today.
Well, no, this is burnt orange. It just
He's an artist, Smoking
ladies
Jim.
tell me it looks good on me, so
That's true.
so that's why I
It
wear
really
it,
goes
but,
with your eyes.
Okay, but yeah, I'm a big Steelers. I can't wait for.
Do you live
August.
vicariously through them now?
Oh my God, I do.
Okay, you're a Pittsburgher now.
I get upset.
Do you?
when they
No,
lose.
I've seen you. We've talked about the Steelers when they have their losing streak. We
Yeah.
never think they're going to win again.
Yep.
Then when they win, they're going to the Super Bowl, and you've bought into that. You're like Smoking Jim.
Yeah, I'm kind of. Well, you know, I was living in Phoenix, Arizona when they won.
Oh,
You know, well before that, I'm at graduate school at Virginia Tech.
okay.
And there are a lot of Pittsburgh kids, and we're watching these excruciating playoff games, and they lose to the Chargers.
Oh,
You know, remember that, like
1994.
94.
Yeah.
They lose to the.
Don't. We're on family TV.
Yeah, it's family friendly, guys. Stop
Yeah,
it.
yeah, friendly. Friendly.
That's- But,
That must have been the accent,
yeah,
folks.
it's something,
He's not
you know.
from.
I'm not from around here.
He's not from Eastern Pittsburgh,
So,
Eastern Europe.
But it was painful. And then the next year we're in Philadelphia,
Yeah.
and all my friends are Eagles fans, and they hate the Cowboys. And can you imagine how we felt that game?
Right.
You know, Neil O'Donnell, you know, what was it, couple interceptions, something, you know.
Yeah.
It was just
Terrible.
bad. I was sick for a week. And then we moved to Phoenix, and all of a sudden the Steelers are getting better, and there's hope.
You can walk through if you want. This is being filmed, though.
And
I don't want to come.
Oh, then don't.
and it's just this. It was like everything came together, but the season was difficult.
Sure.
And early in the season, they had a game against the Chargers, and we're at home. We're watching the game. We have two young daughters. My parents had flown in from Bulgaria to stay with us for a little bit to see their grandkids, and we're watching this game. And it's the Chargers, and I'm like, oh no, it's again. And I couldn't stay in the house.
You were seeing flashbacks.
I could not stay in. It was early in the season. It didn't mean anything. I could not. I was like, I have to leave. So I went outside. I didn't bring anything with me. I didn't want to know about the game. I just ran around the block.
Did you really?
I did.
Wow.
And I'm a freak.
Yeah.
I can say.
You know what? You could
Freak?
say freak. Yeah. Because we have a lot of that. Because I call it the schizophrenic Steeler fans,
Yeah.
and you might be in that category.
So I'm
You're
in
crazed.
that category.
Yeah.
I'm really crazed. And then.
Well, that's why I wanted you on. I'm glad you happened to come out, and I'm glad I missed the one hand that he was putting up for the signal.
Yeah,
So
okay.
we still got time. We got 7 minutes.
7 minutes. So what are we going to talk about in 7 minutes?
Well,
Sports is good, but
you do some interesting things. Can you tell us a couple of the projects that you've worked on in Pittsburgh?
a big one was since I moved to Pittsburgh was the Energy Innovation Center, and that's how I met Jessica Lee, because she's involved with
Tell
the Pittsburgh
Smoking Jim
Gateways
what it used to be.
Corporation.
He
It
made
used to be a school.
You know the name
It
of
was
it?
the Connolly Trade School.
Oh wow, yeah, I heard of that.
It was
In the Hill
It was
District.
it was in the heart of the Hill District. It was when the model for existed for education, early education in the United States.
And the different trades.
It,
And,
it was vocational. So you go to high school, you take all your subjects, but you also learn a trade.
Yes, sir.
So you graduate, and you can literally earn a living. You
you
have
go
a
in the
skill.
workplace. Right.
And they were
Almost
doing
like
a lot of-
homeschool.
No, it's not like homeschool.
No, they were learning plumbing. They
Here's
were
the
learning auto
problem.
repair.
Nick,
Yeah, they were learning really.
Here, you don't understand. You haven't seen our show enough.
Right.
He believes in homeschooling because if you're an athlete, like say you're a boxer, just learn boxing. Don't worry
learn
about
boxing.
educating yourself.
Okay.
As long as you can
Well,
put an X down,
That's
sign
a
the
good
check. He believes in that.
Sign the check.
Yeah, because he thinks everybody that's homeschooled in a sport is going to be a pro. Now the odds aren't really good,
Yeah.
So your thing, like he'd have a trade, like his car broke down, he could have fixed his car.
Yeah.
Okay? But instead, he went to high school, forgot to go to school.
Forgot to go to school.
Yeah, so they moved him on. They kept moving him on because he was a good athlete.
Yeah.
So he got to play football. Then he ended up getting hurt, and now he's stuck with me.
Now he's stuck with you.
So,
Well, that's way to go, Jim.
yeah,
That's like-
I don't think that's a real good way to go, but
no.
I appreciate you being with me, buddy.
No.
But yeah,
Jim
so
is- Jim is. I appreciate listening to Jim. I
Thank
have
you,
one,
sir.
one little piece of beef.
Okay.
LeBron James is my favorite. Okay,
Yes,
I was
sir.
in Cleveland.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I was in Cleveland when he was in Akron in high school.
Yeah.
And I kept hearing LeBron James, but my sport in this country is
Limited.
football.
Okay.
I like basketball and they get into the playoffs. I like Pitt. I mean, they're a client, so I gotta love them. But they're good people. It's fun. But all right, so I keep hearing LeBron James. He's a phenomenon. He's the next Jordan. He's better than Jordan. He's in high school. I'm like, well, who is this kid?
Right.
And then I pick up the plain dealer, the Cleveland
Yeah.
paper, one morning, and there's the big story was he was hurt, and it was the end of the season, and he was going to be joining the pros, and he's hurt.
Yeah.
And there's this picture of this bench of the basketball team. And there are these like skinny white kids that look like they're like 12, right?
You can say that on TV.
And at the end, I'm sorry, I'm
No, you can say that. I'm teasing. No, you're good.
I mean, they're.
That's just a little humor.
You know what I mean. And then there's,
We know exactly what you mean because I hear about it from him all the time.
There's a
Goliath.
There's a man at the end of the bench in a suit, and I'm like, that's gotta be coach. And then it says white, and then I like it's like LeBron sits, and I'm like, oh my God, that is because at the time I'd only heard.
You think it's a little kid.
This guy is just, I mean, he is a man.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
So I got like really, so I followed him, and and then Cleveland gets him. I mean, they like score.
Yeah.
Like he comes to Cleveland. I'm like, I'm a Cleveland fan now. Not for anything else,
Right.
but because of LeBron.
He likes the Cavaliers now.
Because of LeBron, right? I'm a Cavaliers fan. It was an awesome ride. He got them to the
Yes, he did.
got
Playoffs.
them to the finals. Then he goes to Miami and they form a team. And I'm like, I'm a Heat fan.
Right.
He's there. So I'm like, honestly, I mean, it got so important to me that I sought out the tattoo shop that he goes,
Really?
and I
didn't
got
get it.
my only tattoo at the same shop.
No way.
For that reason.
Wow.
For that. Well, also, it had
This is
to do
a
with,
Pittsburgh Sportsline first. Who would think an architect who does work
it's
like this?
It's important to me to live a little bit out of the box, and actually, that tattoo, the meaning of the tattoo was because of my daughters. Both my daughters were born in Cleveland.
Could you say hi to your daughters? Tell
Yeah. Hey Maya. Hey Nora. I love you, babies.
There you go, because
You're
it's
my besties.
it's a family-friendly show here. And your dad was kicking and fighting, didn't want on the show, tried to refuse it. Now I can't. I'm the talking machine. I think I've listened. I think I've listened 90% of what you had to say, and it's been so interesting.
Yeah.
I can't stop you.
It's fun. I mean, thank you for the opportunity. In Bulgaria we have this saying. There are people who swallow the mic.
Yeah.
So I'm one of those people. You give me an opportunity, I'll talk forever.
Yeah, I understand that.
But anyway, so that whole Cleveland connection, I don't. Hey, Cleveland is Cleveland.
Right. We understand.
It's a dirty old town.
Sure.
It's very much like Pittsburgh. I don't
there's
like
hope.
those Browns.
Right.
But
Well,
we
take
don't
that
have-
brown
but,
shirt off.
It makes it really easy. They don't have basketball. We don't have basketball, so
Yeah, but Jess is
it's
trying to push
easy.
that through, so maybe we'll get some investors.
So anyway, so I'm going to go back to what you were saying. So to me, well, who's the favorite, right? Golden State's the favorite.
Yeah, they're going.
Cleveland is they're like the little town. They got LeBron.
Well, we got to cut to the chase. We got less than a minute. Who's your
So,
prediction then? Who's going to win?
I'm afraid Golden State's going to win, but I'm going to pour my heart into the
All right, I'm still
the
picking
Cavs.
Cleveland, even though he's getting weak
I
from
hope you're
Bulgaria.
right.
Cleveland,
I hope you're
they
right.
win the NBA Finals. That's it, Nick. I appreciate you coming on the
Thank
show.
you for the opportunity.
And you did swallow the mic.
Yeah.
Give me it back.
Sorry about
I appreciate it. Thanks everybody for coming out. And watch us on Verizon 32 everywhere, Comcast 7. And be safe out there and stay Joey strong.